Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. In fact, if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is very hopeful, because it's called Finding a Way. And this is a week when you can find a way to solve problems, or you can at least find a way to mend a relationship, or you could start on a new trip or a new endeavor, because that's very well favored. Why would it be so easy for you to have various opportunities this week? Well, it's because an unusual thing is happening in the heavens, and it is that the planets are all spread out. That doesn't happen very often. In fact, out of the 12 signs and houses, 8 of them only have one planet in each of those 8 houses or signs. And then there is another sign, a 9th sign, that has 2 planets in it. So there's 8 single planets spread out, and then there are 2 more in another sign, and that simply means that all of us are going to have a lot of opportunity to sort of bend or move or initiate something. And the best part of it is that both love planets, Uranus and Venus, are in the same sign. They're in the sign of Aries, the sign of new beginnings. But since Uranus rules sudden change, and it rules platonic or spiritual love, and it certainly does rule surprises, an awful lot of surprises could occur next week, and they could be rather delightful. And the reason why is because Venus is also in the sign of Aries, and that's a wonderful planet. It simply means that if you want to make a new start, you could have an easy way to do it now. And that is not only because of both love planets being in Aries, but there are a number of other good planetary aspects. And that's why I think you can find a way this week to certainly solve some of your problems. One good reason is because Mercury, the planet of communication, has moved now, and it is in the sign it rules, Gemini. And Gemini rules short forms of communication. It rules buying and selling and promoting and advertising, and it rules journalism. And because it is so well placed in, because Mercury is so well placed in Gemini, this is simply a time when good communication is really going to clear the air. In fact, you don't need to explain anything in depth next week. You simply need to sort of say things short and sweetly, because that's the way everyone is going to be able to get the message very, very quickly. So communication is really wonderful right now, and so you should speak up. But there's also some grand trines that are very favorable among certain elements, particularly the element of earth and the element of water. The sun today is in Taurus. It is trining the moon, the other light, in Virgo, and together those 2 planets are trining Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a time when you can certainly address any financial issues in a very practical manner, and in fact, through careful budget allocations, you could probably boost your income, or you could boost your long-term security simply by making some changes in policies or practices. And even if there are cuts in budget, as long as you're careful about where you put your money, you could make it through and assure your long-term security, which would be good. It might also involve you thinking about changing jobs, changing toward an occupation or an employer who is very well established and will be there when you decide to retire. And so you need to do a little careful thinking about that. The other grand trine is in water signs, and so Jupiter in Cancer is trining Neptune in Pisces, and together they are trining Saturn in Scorpio. So there are some good feelings and ability to heal right now, and that is because there can be a lot of emotional support from family and friends, and some delayed financial support. It might not be everything that you want, but that could be available as well. And then again, the best thing is for a new start, or for starting over, is that both love planets, Venus and Uranus, are in Aries. So whether you wanted to start something completely new, or whether you simply wanted to, if you'd gotten off on the wrong foot in a relationship, or if a partnership had been a little bit shaky in the past, maybe you could start over in some charming way, and maybe that could sort of heal a rift and get things going in a better direction. That is certainly possible right now. So that would be to the good. However, it's not a perfect world, and one of the aspects that you do need to watch out for is the fact that that same Mercury in Gemini, which is so well placed and indicates clear communication, is being squared by the moon in Virgo. And that simply means, since Virgo rules facts and details, that there can be somebody that wants a little bit more information. They just don't want a short and sweet explanation for a concept. What they want are facts and figures and maybe a timeline. So you will be under pressure to provide that at times as well. But regardless of your situation right now, this is a week when you can relieve the stress and tension and pressure in your life, even through just a short-term solution or some sort of part-time effort. You could relieve that stress and tension, and that would make you feel a whole lot better. So you have that to look forward to, as everyone now can find some sort of way to make things work a little better in their life. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that, the world is your oyster, Aries. Lucky you, because Uranus, the planet of genius and rebellion and sudden change, is joined by Venus, that planet of peacemaking and love and partnership, in your sign, Aries. And so you can certainly want to be seen at your charming best. And also, I think, Aries, you've got your mind on something new and perhaps very expensive. And that is because the sun is in Taurus right ahead of your sun sign, and it is enjoying a grand trine right now. And so I think that you could have your eye on some expensive item that you would like to purchase, or maybe you'd like to take a nice trip, and that could be a little bit pricey. Or it can simply be that you want a better job, or you may feel that your skills are being underpaid right now, and you might want a job at a higher salary that gives you more long-term benefits. And that is entirely possible, Aries. So I think the sky's the limit right now, and that you really should go either to make a new start, which is fabulously aspected right now for you, or simply to start over in some way and heal a rift and be able to go along in a happier frame of mind with others. That is entirely possible too. So good luck, Aries. I think you're going to have a great week. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when you could have love on your mind, and it can be love of something that you like to do. It could be a hobby that you love. It could be a place that you'd like to see or travel to, or it could be an occupation that you would love doing more than the one you've got now, and that may pay a little bit better. And so I think, Taurus, that is because both love planets are right behind your sun sign in Aries. And so since you are enjoying a grand trine right now among the heavens, with the sun in your sign trining the moon in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn, I think that you certainly are going to be able to handle your investments, or improve your health, or perhaps switch to some sort of job or employer that will assure your long-term security. Or you could simply be more carefully allocating your budget, and that could secure your long-term security. So I think this is an optimum time for you to get real practical about things. Saturn is still opposing your sun, and that simply means that there are high bills or loans around that need to be paid off, and you are in a great spot to figure out how to do that. So you can find a way to ease your financial situation and have a wonderful love life too, if you want to, Taurus. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, Lucky you, Mercury, your ruler, is in your sun sign, and it is being beautifully trined by Mars in Libra. So this is a time when you could buy or sell or negotiate or promote, or since your sign does rule change, this is a time when you could successfully make some sort of easy change or smooth transition. You could move in your neighborhood. You could be involved in renting, or, as I said, buying and selling. Or it can simply be that some sort of legal matter works a little bit more in your favor, and that can help you make some sort of new start. Remember, this is all about making a new start in one way or another and finding a way to make our lives better. And that is because Venus and Uranus in Aries are sextiling your sun, Gemini. So that's very favorable for you. And the sun itself is in Taurus right behind your sun sign. So this would be an excellent time for you to move, or to think about moving. And it wouldn't be in an extravagant way. You may want to move, sell a good investment, and downsize a little bit simply because life would be more affordable then and more enjoyable. So I hope you think about it, Gemini. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is simply a time when, since there are actually 5 planets in cardinal signs, when even though there is a lot of emotional and some financial support right now in your life that you can enjoy, there are also challenges that you need to be aware of, and I'm sure you are. But the greatest one right now is the fact that both love planets, Venus and Uranus, are in Aries, and they are squaring your sun sign. And what I think that means is that somebody wants to make a new start. They'd even like to sort of start over, perhaps in a relationship with you, but they can be somewhat disillusioned by discovering something about you that had been a little bit well concealed. It may have been a past activity of yours. It may have been a promise that you made that you didn't keep, and now they understand you're not going to. But whatever it is, I think that somebody is deciding perhaps to go on their way and make a new start somewhere else, Cancer, and that is because they can be a little bit disappointed in some way with you. You might have let them down. Or it may simply be that they've lost a little bit of faith in you for not being as upfront and honest with them as they thought you were being. And so there is that little bit of disappointment, but that's not going to dispel the wonderful friendship and rapport that you have, not only with your friends, but with your family members. You're on a real solid footing in that respect. So if somebody decides to make a new start, that's just what a lot of people are doing right now, and I wouldn't feel too bad about it. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when you could be surprised by some offer that comes right out of the blue, and it could be headed right toward you in a very nice way, Leo. And that is because both love planets, Venus and Uranus, are in Aries, and they are trining your sun. So you may get a sudden opportunity to start over in something. In other words, if you had lost an opportunity in the past, it might be coming back to you now, Leo, and you may decide to accept it again. Or it can simply be that you have the opportunity to travel very suddenly, or you could be deciding to go back to school, or you may just decide to go along with somebody who wants to make a new and innovative start. So somebody else that's involved in some futuristic program could invite you to join them, and that would be great. That would certainly make you feel wonderful, and there are all kinds of good implications for your future in that, because Uranus does rule the future. However, the problem is, who's going to pay for it all? It can't be you, Leo. And the reason why is that the sun in Taurus is squaring your sun, meaning that there can be something pretty expensive that you'd like to do in your life, but you do not have the money for it, or else it's too high priced right now and you need to wait until the price comes down. And Saturn in Scorpio is also squaring your sun, meaning that bills and debts could be high, or that your credit could be a little bit stretched. And that may be why you should not really pay for anything that's real high priced right now. You may have to forego that or find somebody else to pay your way right now, Leo, because I don't think you have the money for everything that you want, but you sure might have a great opportunity. Let's just hope somebody else wants to pay for that. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, I think you can be sitting pretty right now. And that is because the sun in Taurus is trining the sun your sun sign, where the moon is today, and Pluto in Capricorn is doing the same thing. So I think through careful budget allocations, even if there are budget cuts or there are changes in policies, you can still be assuring your long-term security. And since your sign rules facts and the moon in your sign is squaring Mercury in Gemini, you could be the person that isn't happy with communication, which is short and sweet and to the point. You could be asking for a lot more facts, and if somebody's coming up with a great concept but they really don't have any idea of how they're going to accomplish their idea, then you're the person that might want to have to insist on setting down the facts and setting a timeline as well. This may not make you popular, but in the end, remember, we all have to be concerned with longevity and stability. We really have to all try to make it right now, not for the short run, but the long run. And so you are a person that could help someone else with that, or else you can manage that yourself right now. I think you're going to get some good offer, or an investment of yours is going to pay off handsomely right now. So good luck on that. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is simply a time at last when I think that someone's going to come along with a great idea that will enable you to buy or sell or promote or advertise in a way that can help you expand and can increase your future prospects. And that is because Mars in your sign is being tried beautifully by Mercury in Gemini right now. So young people could be attracted to you. You could be involved with renting or advertising or any short form of endeavor, such as a part-time job, or you could be deciding that you want to go on some short trip or just take on some sort of secondary occupation that in addition to what you already do. All of that is beautifully favored, Libra. However, you have to expect at the same time with Venus, your own ruler, and Uranus in Aries opposing your sun sign, that not everyone is going to jump on your bandwagon. In fact, a few people are going to want to make new starts of their own. So get ready to wave goodbye to somebody, Libra. It doesn't mean they won't be back. It just can mean that somebody wants to go on their own way right now. And summer is the right time to travel and to do new things. So don't be disappointed if somebody leaves right now. They could be back later on. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time, since the sun in Taurus is opposing Saturn in your own sign, when you could be looking at something pretty expensive or high priced that you would like to acquire, or you would certainly like to be involved in that. In other words, if you had the money, you might want to go ahead and pay somebody's high price, but I think you have doubts about whether it's worth it right now, Scorpio. After all, you're sort of sitting pretty. Neptune in Pisces is trining your sun, and Jupiter in Cancer is also trining your sun. This is an optimum time for you to think about moving. And that is because there is this grand trine in water signs, meaning you'd have a lot of help with that from your family and friends. Or you can be supporting others who want to move on, which is great. But as far as paying a high price for something right now, Scorpio, I'd wait on that. At least wait till the price comes down, or wait until terms are a little bit more in your favor. It isn't that you can't afford something. I think you can afford something. It's just whether it's worth it or not. And so I think value is an important consideration for you. And that is why you might decide to sort of wait on the sidelines a little bit right now until you can get a deal that is really attractive to you, which you may be able to do, because remember, communication is going to be short and sweet, and people can be very successful buying and selling, but you might have to drive a hard bargain right now to get what you want, Scorpio. And if you don't get it, I'd just wait a while. People may reconsider. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, you too, just like Leo, could have a wonderful offer right out of the blue to do something new or to start over in a different direction. It could be something part-time, and it could be something that you would hope would really expand and be all on your own terms, but I don't think it will be. And that's because there really is what we call a T-cross in mutable signs. Neptune in Pisces is squaring your sun sign. The moon in Virgo is also squaring your sun sign, and the Mercury in Gemini is opposing your sun sign. So I think that if you do hear about something new that you would like to be involved with, or you get an invitation to try something new that comes right out of the blue, I think that you should say yes on that, but try to realize it is going to cause a little bit of displacement in your life. Or it does mean that you'll have to make a little bit of a different schedule, or that you'll have to, you might be disappointed that it isn't forever, but it is expansionary. It will lead to some sort of new start, and that's why I think you should say yes, Sagittarius. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a wonderful time for you because I think that you are about to get a very good offer. If it's a job offer, it would be for more money. It might be more responsibility too, but you're fully capable of handling that. Or if it's an investment that you own, it could pay off handsomely right now because the sun in Taurus is trining your sun, and so is the moon in Virgo, which means you can be very careful and detailed about things right now, and you can be able to improve your health. So if there is some rather lucrative offer around, I hope you say yes to it, Capricorn. It could be just what you want. And it could give you the responsibility that you are thoroughly capable of. But if you're selling something, I hope you're selling it at a high price, because I think you could get that too right now, Capricorn. So I think it's all systems go with you, and that you shouldn't hold back right now. I think that your stature will improve right now simply because you are being recognized in one way or another by people who can afford you and people who are very careful about things. And those are the people you appreciate most anyway. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is simply a time when I think you're really going to be able to make some pretty good deals, Aquarius. And the reason why is that you can find a way to make something work right now. Now, I don't think it's necessarily something financial. It could lead to financial success, but you got to get a deal together first, Aquarius. And I think that's entirely possible because Mercury in Gemini is trining your sun, and Mars in Libra is also trining your sun. So you can get help because of some legal dispute that gets solved or resolved, and you can get help from people who are very glib right now, or who are eager to help you in some way, or because there is some sort of part-time project around that you can develop in one way or another, or that you can join. So it doesn't have to be forever, but it can be rather successful right now for you, Aquarius. So I hope you say yes to somebody's bright idea, because remember, your ruler, Uranus, is sextiling your sun sign, and so is Venus, because they're both in Aries, and that sextiles the sign of Aquarius. The one thing you have to watch out for, though, is that the sun in Taurus is squaring your sun. So if there's something really high-priced around, I don't think you can afford it right now, Aquarius. And I don't think you really have the money for it. So don't pay too much for something. You might regret it because it wouldn't be worth it in the end. And Saturn in Scorpio is also squaring your sun, which means there are still some lingering debts or loans outstanding, or credit could be a little shaky, or taxes could be high, and you have that still to deal with. And you may have to deal with that for the whole rest of the year. And that's why I wouldn't bet the farm on anything right now, Aquarius. If you can get together with people and develop great ideas, and you can use someone else's money to make it all work, then that's a good idea. But if you have to put up the money yourself, I would say you're going to have to pass, because there isn't enough around right now. So I would develop ideas, and I would make plans and schedules, because I think you can really succeed at that. And that's finding a way to relieve stress as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is simply a time when I think that you can be sitting pretty, because you can really enjoy your faithful friends and family members. They're there, and they're in your corner, Pisces, which is wonderful. But there is this T-cross in mutable signs, and that simply means that Mercury in Gemini is squaring your sun sign where you have Neptune, and that means somebody's got a lot of great ideas, but you may not share their vision right now. You may have vision of your own. And so you can listen to a lot of great ideas, but it might be all talk right now and no facts. So you have to check that out pretty carefully, Pisces. And also, The moon in Virgo is opposing your sun sign, and that simply means there is somebody around, perhaps a woman, who really wants details on things, and you're going to have to come up with the details, Pisces, or you're going to have to face all the facts about something, and it can be a financial matter or a banking or a credit issue that you will have to address. And so yes, you're very popular right now, and there is a new beginning aspected for you since the Sun and Venus, or since Venus and Uranus are right ahead of your sun sign. But you have to be a little bit careful to look before you leap, Pisces, and make sure that you've got all the facts, because I think they're going to be a little bit slow in coming. I wouldn't sign anything unless you were real sure about it. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see our show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next week. Bye.